He is one of the most complete players of the modern era. An MVP, a World Series champion, respected not only for his talent, but for his demeanor. His name stands for excellence, consistency, and spectacle. But this week, Mookie Betts was remembered for something else entirely. A moment so mundane, so unexpected, it felt like a scene from a comedy script. Not from one of the most anticipated series of the season. Betts fractured the second toe on his left foot. The news alone would be concerning for any Dodgers fan. But what shocked everyone was how it happened. It wasn't during a risky play. It wasn't a slide into second base. It happened at home, at night, in the dark. I was just going to the bathroom in the dark and hit my toe on the wall. Betts revealed candidly. The story was reported by Dylan Hernandez and Jack Harris of the Los Angeles Times. It's the kind of situation that dismantles any narrative of total control. And it serves as a reminder that even the greatest athletes on the planet are subject to life's banal misfortunes. Mookie Betts is not expected to play the rest of the series against the Yankees. The Dodgers, for now, have chosen not to place him on the injured list, but they'll reevaluate him daily. There's hope that he might possibly make a pinch-hitting appearance at some point over the weekend, but his absence from the starting lineup is all but confirmed. And as strange as it may seem, that changes everything. Yankees and Dodgers don't face off like just any two teams. Every time these two uniforms share the same field, despite still playing at a high level, represents a legacy. We're talking about two of the most iconic franchises in American sport history. With 27 championships in the Bronx and 7 in Los Angeles, this matchup carries decades of indirect rivalry, fueled by past World Series showdowns, eternal legends, and consistently sky-high expectations. That's why every detail matters. And the absence of a name like Betts, even for such an unusual reason, breaks the balance. If you're a fan of MLB and you're here for the behind-the-scenes tension, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Following baseball isn't just about who wins or loses. It's about understanding how injuries, decisions, unexpected turns, and invisible details shape the destiny of an entire team. At 32 years old, Mookie Betts is batting .254 so far this season. He's logged 8 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases in 53 games. It's the kind of solid production that brings stability to the top of the order. But more than stats, what he represents is leadership and rhythm. He's the one who sets the offensive tone from the very first innings. And for Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers, building a lineup without Betts under these circumstances means more than just replacing a player. It means rewriting the offensive plan. It means giving up a presence that instantly commands respect from opposing pitchers. On the other side, the Yankees benefit. Even if they won't admit it, a series that was already difficult now becomes an opportunity. Even more so with New York's offense currently experiencing one of its best stretches this season, led by Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. With Betts out, New York's rotation can pitch with a little less pressure early in games. And even if he still appears as a pinch hitter, the uncertainty surrounding his condition already forces the opponent to adjust tactically. But there's something deeper at play in this story. The way Betts got injured, a simple stub toe in the dark, lays bare vulnerability no team likes to acknowledge. Baseball is a game of control, statistics, precision, but it is also at its core human. And when chance takes the field, no tactic can hold it back. Right now, Dodger Stadium becomes a stage for something bigger. Betts' absence creates a void not just in the lineup, but in the narrative, because everyone wanted to see the full showdown. Everyone wanted the maximum version of this clash. Judge and Soto versus Betts and Freeman, the two biggest markets in the league, face to face with their stars on the field. But reality, once again, draws the line. And maybe unintentionally, that says even more about the moment. The Dodgers remain a powerhouse. But the absence of a single player reveals how even the most star-studded rosters can become dependent on key pieces. Meanwhile, the Yankees continue to rise quietly, capitalizing on every gap chance throws their way. Now I want to hear from you. Should the Dodgers really consider using Betts as a pinch hitter, even if he's not 100%? Or would it be wiser to preserve him entirely, even in such a symbolic series? Let me know in the comments. Your opinion matters. And around here, we don't miss a single detail. We talked about the unexpected absence of Mookie Betts, a banal, almost comical moment that took one of baseball's most lethal players out of the most anticipated series of the season. A clash of titans between Yankees and Dodgers, now with one piece missing. But what seemed like a blow to Los Angeles ended up being fuel for New York. Because while the Dodgers are still trying to find their balance without their biggest star, the Yankees seem to have found theirs again. 5 straight wins. A team that no longer depends on names, but on identity. That no longer plays only with the weight of the past, but with the urgency of now. It's almost poetic. The roster that carried the Yankees to the World Series last year is falling apart piece by piece. Juan Soto now plays in Queens, wearing a Mets jersey. Gleyber Torres, traded to the Tigers. And the veteran leaders, Garrett Cole, Luis Gil, Giancarlo Stanton, all on the injured list. What's left, at first glance, seemed like little. But when you look closer, the Bronx isn't empty. It's alive. In the latest win against the Angels, that was clear. It wasn't just another game. It was a statement. The team is winning without relying on superstars. It's winning with discipline, young talent, and consistency, something it lacked for years. And then comes the question, is this team ready? Or is it still missing the final touch? Because despite the wins, the solid numbers, and the growing confidence, October baseball is ruthless. You can have the best regular season of the decade and fall in 3 games. And that's exactly why. Even if the front office is being cautious still playing at a high level, moves, the name now circulating behind the scenes can't be ignored. Max Scherzer, 3-time Cy Young winner, a future Hall of Famer, a name that brings not just stats, but an aura of greatness, weight, and decisiveness. The report came from Jake Ellman of Athlon Sports. The Yankees could, and maybe should, pursue Scherzer in a trade with the Blue Jays. And the idea makes more sense than it seems. Scherzer is recovering from a thumb injury. He's far from peak physical form. But that doesn't mean he's done. In 2023, even while dealing with setbacks, he still showed flashes of the old Mad Max. A born competitor. A bulldog on the mound. A guy who, even at 40, treats October like a 20-year-old. For the Yankees, this is a calculated move. They need another reliable arm to complete the rotation. Someone who can steady the ship while Garrett Cole recovers. Someone who knows what it means to be clutch. Someone who won't explode the payroll or gut the farm system. And that's where everything starts to fit. Scherzer's contract is short. $15.5 million for 1 year. His no-trade clause can be worked around with the right conversation. He's not in the Blue Jays' long-term plans, and a modest return in prospects could be enough to get the veteran. No Spencer Jones. No George Lombard Jr., the name being floated, is Gage Zeal, young, talented, but expendable. And for the Yankees, this could be the kind of trade that changes the tone of October. Because if baseball teaches us anything, it's that the playoffs aren't about who looks better on paper. They're about who can handle the pressure, who can dig deep, who doesn't flinch when everything's on the line. And Scherzer, he's been through it all. Just imagine a rotation of Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, Nestor Cortez, and Max Scherzer. Even as a 4th or 5th starter, his presence changes the locker room. It raises the standard, demands more. And beyond the field, there's a psychological factor. Taking Scherzer away from a division rival like the Blue Jays is a double strike. You get stronger and weaken the other side. In a race where every win counts, where every head-to-head can decide home field advantage, that's not a detail. That's strategy. But there are risks, and the front office knows it. Scherzer might not fully recover. He might not deliver what's expected. He could even block the trade if he doesn't want to leave Toronto. It's a gamble. But it's a gamble with massive upside and, on paper, relatively low cost. And here lies a dilemma. This current team looks solid. It's winning, growing, building chemistry. But when the game gets tight, will they be missing that experienced arm? That guy who's been on the front lines? Or does this group already have everything it needs? And making a move now would be too big of a risk? That's the decision Brian Cashman will have to make. And whatever the path, the impact will be felt in October. Now tell me, would you trade for Scherzer, even with the uncertainty? Or would you stick with the current roster, trusting in the power of the collective? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe the Yankees are one move away from another historic run to the World Series, hit that like button now. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. Because if Max Scherzer really is on his way to the Bronx, or if another bombshell is about to explode in the market, you'll hear it here first, because this is Yankees baseball. Intense, unexpected, unpredictable, and that's exactly why we never blink.